Hey, all right, let's do this. Yeah, I've been doing this for a little while now. I definitely have ramped up on the loud noises, um, and I'm getting very close to, um, like peak, I guess. I have not had to repeat any artists yet, which is, I think, kind of cool. Um, but I also think it's kind of interesting because um, my viewership is actually gone up, not by a lot, not by any significant amount. Um, but it's nice to see, and I gotta stop. You know, even watch. It's not even really worth it until you start getting into the hundreds, at least the hundreds of views on videos before you should even be concerned about what the analytics are telling you. Um, this is not a test. This series is actually the second most popular, and then it literally trickles down from there. Where you know comic time is definitely the least popular of my series, which is sad. And I have been wanting to do more. I want to at least finish out the Secret Wars series before actually stopping it, but I don't know if I will. Um, I got a few other things that I'm thinking about doing. In the works, as it were. Um, it's funny because I actually thought that um, to get people to come in and see what I'm actually doing and watch videos here, I thought that um, the loud noises would do that, and then I thought the viewership on that would just literally drop off while people watch other types of videos that I'm producing. I have, there are YouTubers and VTubers and everything like that I'm watching and I'm following and I'm seeing how they're doing and what they're doing. There's some things that I like and there's some things that I think take or leave. Um, One of the things that I noticed is that the people who are basically flash in the pan, or not just flash in the pan, but have a lot of subscribers very quickly. They either have to ramp up their game or they just get eaten up by the system, and then they wonder why, when they were making money, that now they're barely even scraping by. And that's it's sad that stuff like that happens. I'm obviously not in that type of a position to even worry about it. So we get to the topic that I've been thinking about, and it's discussions that I've had over the years, um, and something that I was access to is probably the best way to describe what my popularity was. I had access to fame. I had access to celebrities and stuff like that. So the that access made me feel like I was a celebrity, like I was famous, and it definitely went to my head. I definitely took things for granted. But the one thing about having that type of notoriety that I see now is it's about access. See, right now I'm very accessible. I can, you spend a lot of time. I don't have. I am the only person running the show here, and if I blew up or if I had, um, yeah, I couldn't run a chat. I couldn't run a Discord or an Instagram or anything like that when I'm making videos. I'd have to literally just focus on making videos, and then I would have to get somebody to edit videos because I wouldn't have time for the editing of the videos because I would probably be too busy getting to the next live stream. Making videos, becomes almost an industry where you have to have employees and you have to have, a lot of people under you. And I definitely have noticed that the people who are super duper popular and are making a living with YouTube and stuff like that, they are not alone. They either are associated with a company or have people under them that actually do a lot of their research. Even it's almost astounding, and I personally don't want. That's the type of fame that I kind of. It's not bad, and it definitely works for people. I think that that's definitely the way to go. But I would worry that if something like that happened, um, I would lose something. In the same token, the access to me um, will drop off, and I am definitely more inclined to the people who quote unquote believed in me or whatever you want to call it. I'd be more inclined to cater to their needs and their wants, even as opposed to people who are donating money and stuff like that. I again, I don't know what I would do. I think the money might go to my head, and I might you know be only focused on the donations and the people basically creating the living for me, so that I can create more, biggering as it were. And I've been there. I know what that's like, but in the same token, what do I expect for the people that I'm actually viewing? The waifus, the VTubers, that I'm quote unquote simping for, and I'm watching all their videos and stuff like that. What type of access do I have to them? And I'm at the point where, because I understand the position that they're in, that my access is whatever they have time for or none, and I take what they give, because that's all they have. That's what they have to offer. I mean, they have to have a life outside of this. They're not. There's a person or people behind the screen, creating the stuff, and then you have even the large YouTubers and stuff like that. That this is their industry, and me doing stupid notice me senpais and stuff like that. It's nice to get acknowledged, and it's nice to be seen, but the truth is they aren't really seeing me. I'm just another line in I'm just another line that they see, and in some cases, some YouTubers might see me as a troll. I try not to be a troll. I try to just express my opinion on matters, and present facts, and you know present a clear argument. And I've definitely noticed that. I feel ignored, so I definitely know what it's like to be a subscriber and um, be feeling like I'm doing this for you and I'm getting nothing in return. And it's it's a tightrope, um, and and it's also everything is basically timing. There's luck and timing and basically everything. And um, this, you know, is why I always keep saying I'm doing this wrong, because I'm not trying to force um, high numbers. I'm not trying to I want people I want people who subscribe to me. I'd be sad if people subscribed and unsubscribed, but for the most part, I want people who subscribe to me to be people who are interested in kind of the manic craziness that I'm doing. I don't want you to subscribe to me because you're trying to give me numbers or you're trying to prop me up, or you want to see if I'll create more videos. I mean, hell, I have people who are watching my videos and telling me to stop. Most of my singing. Some of them have said that I make these videos are too long, and I don't know where the 2 hours comes from, but I've never made a 2 hour video. I've made a hundred. I've made an hour and 40-minute video. I think that's the longest that I have going right now, but I don't think I have a 2 hour video. Um, Maybe one day I will do a 2 hour video, uh, and that'll happen. But back to like was talking about with fame and celebrity. Um, fame does not mean there's a reason why they separate out rich and famous. You can be rich without being famous, and you can be famous without being rich. Um, and I definitely I'm kind of, this is on a lark, and the only real rule that I'm following for YouTube is consistency. Aside from consistency, I'm just basically winging this. I'm just basically, figuring this out as I go along. I'm figuring out how programs work. I'm figuring out how to edit my own videos. Like I said, this is a one-man show. It's probably going to be a one-man show for a long time. And tomorrow something could happen and changes everything. Here I am, talking about what the future holds. I don't know what the future holds. Every day, they tell me to just keep doing it, and eventually it'll happen and you'll get what you want. Like I said, I worry that where loud noises are concerned with my singing, that's what I'm going to be known for. That's where, it's what I have the most videos in. It's the thing that I'm doing the most of. And it is what I'm probably, out of the things that I'm doing, it's definitely the worst thing I'm the worst at. Um, it's, well, it wasn't singing, but I remember, when I was in college, I had a celebrity professor who I used to watch on TV all the time. He'll probably be upset if I use his name right now, so let's not. But if he ever sees my video, he'll know it's him. But we had a professor who was famous, and we were given tasks, writing, basically producing, lighting, set design, and acting our own, short play basically skits that we were doing, and they were, everybody in the class, basically was involved in everything. And after my thing was done, and we did this thing, I was basically performing in most people's plays. I did some performance aspect of it. I usually would have some hand in helping with the writing, helping with the production in some way. But for the most part, I would always have a role. Some people even wrote roles for me because I was kind of crazy at the time, and I was always performing. And when I had a one-on-one, which was not rare, but it didn't happen very often during the course of the semester. He sat me down. He said, Sean, you're probably going to be an incredible writer. You're probably going to be an incredible cameraman. You're probably going to produce lots of film. You're probably going to be this person. Don't act. And it caught me off guard because I actually thought I thought my acting was one of the better aspects of the class. I thought that that's where I was shining because people were requesting more of me, and he absolutely hated my performances. And didn't reflect on my grade any. I still did very well in the class, but what a freaking shot in the head, as it were. And I went on. I was in more independent. The extracurriculars. More independent. Theater productions. And I had never. I literally had to realize, and I thought it was because of my workload, that I was never the lead. Even the production film that I wrote and produced, I didn't cast myself. Actually, I didn't cast myself at all, which is probably why he liked my production probably above most others, because I was able to I basically took the reins of leading. I didn't even direct it. I did write most of it, but I kind of had a hand in everything except for the actual acting. I did the blocking. I did choreography is probably the better way to put it, but there really wasn't any dancing. I set up the lighting. Or I should say, I helped with the lighting. Saying these are the things that I want and how we can produce them with what we have. And I was very kind of like a MacGyver. Let's take this and use this and see if this works. And if it didn't work, we changed it out and we made something else. And it's an interesting thing, but having access to famous people, the one thing that I noticed, and I've noticed even for myself, is that fans and people, the people who put you, it is true. The fans create the level of celebrityhood that people have, and the artist does not owe the fans anything other than to produce more art. Access to an artist is not what being famous is supposed to be about, but people feel that they already have that access to them. Actors especially, because they see them, they have emotions that are attached to their performances that they believe that they already have a connection, and music artists and stuff like that. And Michael Jackson wrote Billie Jean based on this exact thing, that people think that they have access to celebrities because they see their performance and they made a connection there. And it's really, even I had trouble with it for the longest time, separating out the artist from the performance, and even there's a public me as opposed to a private me. I mean, as real as I am here, and as much of my soul I'm bearing and everything like that, what you are seeing is the public me, the public Sean, as opposed to the private Sean. You'll never see that private Sean. You don't have access to that, and I can't even give it to you. But you have access to the public me now. And then, as far as celebrity grows, this is the catch-22. As more people demand my access, the less access I have to give to each person. Now that I'm, basically, unfamous, I could even say almost famous. Right now that I'm unfamous and I'm not popular and I'm really not a celebrity, I'm, barely a YouTuber right now. When I'm at this level, with my, 7 whole subscribers, one of them I believe is me. At this level of as a YouTube celebrity, everybody's got complete access to me, and I don't know if I want that to continue. I think it's good. I think, I offer what I have. But like I said, if I had 1,000 subscribers and all of them demanding my access or access to me in some way, shape, or form, I only have so much time. And then once this ends, there's my private life. There's the private me, that me that I don't reveal on YouTube. And that I have to give that a lot of time as well. And, that I don't give access to. And, people, again, going to where celebrities are, fans believe that they have that access to the private life. I mean, they devote there's a whole industry with paparazzi and everything like that, has been created for the mere fact of giving the fans and the public access to these people's private lives. They don't want you to have that. I mean, there's some are doing it to maintain their famous, but we're going to set those aside. Just going to stick with the people who, where they want to keep their private lives private. It's something that you can't demand of a celebrity. They don't owe that to you. They don't owe your devotion to them doesn't seep into that. Or my devotion to them hasn't earned the right to be in, access to that part of their lives. Like I said, right now I got loads of time. Here I am. I'm doing, I'm going to be doing orcs in a bit. People have complete and total 100% access, afternoon with the chat going to basically, ask me any question that they want. They will have complete and total access, especially if they're interested in playing with orcs or Warhammer 40K in any way, shape, or form. You can ask anything you want. And now I would love to basically answer those, and I would love to, to devote, even hours of my time to an individual person, not necessarily even a fan, that has interest in that. Comics. Oh, I could talk for days about comics right now. And I offer that access, and because because I'm not a celebrity, you know, it's a catch-22. When you achieve the celebrityhood, the access diminishes, but more people are demanding of your time, and when you don't have the celebrityhood, when you don't have the fame, the fame, as it were, or you're a D or E or Z tier celebrity, you got plenty. Like, you could just, I can basically do whatever I want. I can tweet anything that I want. I can say anything I want. I'm not sponsored. I don't work for any company. I don't have any loyalties or contracts, or I'm not getting paid. I don't have I don't have sponsorships that I need to adhere to, or be a representative for. I got a complete, you get my complete and untold, unfiltered opinion about things. If you don't notice, or if you don't know, as people's fame grows, and they have sponsors to answer to, even if they like that, they tend to not be as critical of that. And it's why I think that people like critics are essential for moviegoers, because they're supposed to be given unbiased opinions about things. But still, they're making money from these companies. These companies are, bribing is probably the wrong word, but people who do favorable opinion pieces, get more access to those companies, get exclusives, get those things. And it's a game that now even the critics are playing, where, they can't give their personal opinion of it. They have to give, either toe the company line or be very critical of it to the point of damnation. And they use those extremes because people want those extremes, it seems. Those are the more popular video. Controversy breeds viewership. So, it's not even just good publicity anymore. Good publicity kind of gets, oh yeah, you're just, simping for you're simping for Disney or Sony or whatever, or Fox or wherever you're simping for. That's if you do a positive spin, it just doesn't quite, make the thing. But if you are critical of of a company's rival, and you're critical of the things that you see and everything like that, you can gain access into the company that exclusives and things like that you want, and it really boils down to you get nothing. You get exactly what I have right now, and then in the end, your unbiased opinion becomes all you have. Your word, as it were, represents you. If you are kowtowing, or you are trying to win favor of companies and stuff like that, or you want celebrities to earn awards, and whatever the reason is behind the reason why a person can't have an unbiased opinion. Whatever that reason is, their word, the things that they say, the fact that when they watch a film, you can't trust it anymore. And that is actually reflected in films that have come out. I have seen films getting acclaim and, oh, this is like the best thing in the world. And then I watch it and I'm like, what were they talking? What are they seeing that I'm not seeing? And if it's a paycheck, then I go, that's what they saw. They saw, the company giving them money. They're not seeing the film anymore. They're not seeing the art. And I get, it's like I said, I don't know, I don't have it, so I can't tell you how I would react to it. What would I do if I had a sponsor, like a game sponsor or something like that? I definitely would play the game, but I would still want to give what since it's an opinion, and like this is where people get mixed up about it. It's just an opinion. There are, I like Disney. I like Disney films, I should say. There's a lot of Disney films that I adore. I don't really know the inner workings of Disney's company, and nor do I care. I only care about the art. And there are definitely films that I just basically go, it's a turd in a bottle. And, Sony, there's plenty of Sony films that I adore. There's probably more I hate, but it doesn't matter. DreamWorks, any film, Fox, which is now Disney, there's a lot of films that I basically just go, that got greenlit? I mean, like, how? And they're just awful films. And the same token, on the flip side, there's just brilliant films. And I think when somebody sees my opinion, my opinion about a film, they know where I'm coming from, because I try to describe what I see and how I see it, not just, oh, I like this film. This is why I liked it. This is what I saw, and if there was something that the movie maker was trying to convey, if I didn't like the film, obviously whatever they were trying to create and trying to tell, Wonder Woman 1984 is probably one of the better examples of this. There was a story that they were obviously trying to tell, but man, the execution of it was just awful. But I saw that execution starting to happen with the first Wonder Woman that everybody praised. And it like kind of drives me crazy that the chinks in the armor, the breakdowns, the flaws in the film, because people praised it, they decided, like, let's go basically hog wild on making on making this film using those beats. And it's just like going, the things that were awful about the film, you don't turn that into how you make a film. The only good news about 1984 as compared to Wonder Woman is it actually passes the Bechdel test. Like, did you have to go out of your way? And the conversation was even worse. It was an awful conversation film-wise. But, it's like going, you shoehorned in a conversation between you shoehorned a conversation in between two named characters that didn't talk about men, and that's what that was. You having Wonder Woman or Diana laughing at a joke that was never told, and you don't even know what was even said. It kind of drives me crazy. I'd like to hear the joke. Like, please tell the joke, please, and let me determine whether it was funny, because then I know whether Diana was just humoring Kristen Wiig's character, or I don't know if Gal Gadot as Diana was just humoring Kristen Wiig's character, or whether she was actually, whether whatever was said was, the joke was actually funny. And then that could actually set off the tone and the pacing of the rest of the conversation. So yeah, give me the freaking joke. I don't care if it's a bad joke, and you need Diana, you need Wonder Woman to be laughing at it, and then write a better joke. What can I say? Just write a better joke. I mean, you have Kristen Wiig is a very funny woman, and she's got a lot of comedy, and she has a lot of comedy under her belt. So it doesn't have to be the most amazing joke in the world, but at least get up to her level. And the lines and the dialogue and stuff like that were just awful. It was bad all around. But again, I guess there's some people that actually love this film. So hey, I don't put 1984 as bad as Fanforstic, but it's down there. It's definitely Catwoman bad. And it's because of the clunky dialogue, and it's the fact that it's the sequel to a fairly critically acclaimed film that had a hell of a lot of flaws in it. And if I had to choose, I would say that Wonder Woman, the original, didn't work either, and they should have fixed it before making 1984. Instead, it's kind of like they doubled down. And again, 1984 has an awesome opening. A lighthearted, action adventure comedy is definitely the pace that they set for the film. And then they went into this, they just, threw it all out there and just left me basically going, really? Huh? What? And here you have pretty much she's I would call Kristen Wiig a comedy legend, and you have a comedy legend here in your film, and you don't even utilize any aspect of it, not even slight aspect of her practical humor, her sense of comedy timing, none of that stuff, especially her ironic sarcasm. And the character arc for Cheetah is just absolutely just awful. So literally, like I said, here I am complaining, doing a movie review, and I don't want to, and I should stop it because I'm talking about, what fame actually means to me. And I don't, getting back to that, I don't know if I want it. I don't know. I don't know if it's a question of whether I can handle it or not. But I definitely think that because of the demand of fame, I definitely don't want to, I don't want to wake up. I would go absolutely bonko crazy if I woke up tomorrow and, had 1,000 subscribers and had millions of views on my videos. I would literally lose my mind over that because I would not know. It would be unexpected. It would be without warning, and I would, that instant rise, is not what my channel's about, and it's not what I'm doing. It's, there's a reason that I'm now, this is going to be my 75th film. 75th video on my page, and I have 75 videos, and I know people with 1 million subscribers or 2 million subscribers even, and they're lucky that they have 25 videos. So it's the good with the bad, as it were. I don't envy their position. I guess they're making money. I guess they're the way they've set themselves up. Is to, especially with sponsorships and stuff like that, they have that, and hopefully they have enough people around them that have the experience to basically guide them through, so that they can become successful. For me, it's like going, content. I'm not. I am well on my way of making decent content, and it's it, I'm going to surpass, people, um, trying to make this happen, who aren't being as consistent, with it. And, I know that a lot of people, the drop off rate for people who start off making pages and stuff like that now, as opposed to even back when I started my page, which was in 2014, and I would even go even further back. I would go, back to, 2004, 2008. If I was making videos back then, which is what I should have been doing, when I was trying to break into the film industry, and I didn't, because I didn't think that this was not reputable. I was in a weird space, during that time. So I was thinking that I still had to go old school and do it the way, pay my dues and, make films and, do it that way. I didn't know that all I had to do was literally just turn a camera on and, just spout nonsense for, 20 or 30 minutes and, yay, here you have a video. I mean, this has already gone on a little bit long, and it's probably one of my longer. This is not a test. I try to keep them to 30 minutes, so I'm gonna probably end this now because I definitely went on a tangent with Wonder Woman, and that's probably why it's so long. And I should not let my personal feelings about certain films, and that's why I shouldn't even give examples of certain films, because they're there. You have those. It's probably not that film like that, but it's probably there. You probably have films that you just basically really just rub you the wrong way and just feel like a waste of time and money. And why how did this get greenlight? How did this get past the producers? And why is this a film? But then again, Justice League had everything right for it, and they still messed it all up. And now they have this, the Zack Snyder cut, that just got released, and it's definitely better. Better is probably the best way to say it. If I compare it to regular superhero films, even superhero films that Warner Brother has produced, it's not anywhere near their best. It's a better storyline. They fixed a lot of things. It's actually, I kind of agree with the producers about it being unnecessarily long. It's about 3 films. There's 3 films in the 4-hour movie that are basically not really. They don't, because they didn't have to condense anything down. There's 3 films. There's literally 3 films happening, and they needed to literally just break them up into 3 individual films, and they probably would have done better, if they shot the whole thing, shot the 4-hour freaking diatribe, and maybe even longer, and then broke it down into 3 films that they released, bing, 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 and people would have ate it up. The Flash arc was good. And, right. I'm right back to. I gotta stop talking about it. There was good and bad in it. I think if you wanted to watch it, you should watch it. And make it. I would definitely recommend watching it. Especially if the original Justice League 2017, if that soured you on the Justice League and how things were going. I mean, definitely made its mark on where DC was taking, where Warner Brothers was taking their DC properties, and it's just awful that what 2017 did for the film. I definitely think Henry Cavill had always gotten a bad shake in the whole thing, and definitely, better, but not to where the caliber, and not to, it can't even compete with what Marvel's doing. Not they're not even on the same they're not even in the same league. The Justice League doesn't make the Marvel, it doesn't make the Marvel leagues. They're still playing in the minors, and in an industry that they used to rule completely. Marvel couldn't even compete with what DC was producing back in the day, and it's completely flip flopped. And now the DC has to play catch up. Marvel doesn't have to do anything but just basically keep creating content that is just knocking it out of the park like they always do. They don't even have to. They don't. They don't have to apologize for previous films. They don't have to make films that basically make excuses for previous films. And I think that's what DC is literally caught in doing for a long time. And it's awful. It's awful that it's happening. But I am done. I'm finished. I hope everybody has a good day. I hope that you stay well. I hope that the quarantine or whatever you're doing during this whole stupid pandemic, you're staying safe. And I can just only say cool beans. All right, take care.